So you know you have one left.
Thank you. We do have a presentation.
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Go ahead. So Mark simply mentioned that we are the Hamilton LRT Resident Advocacy Group. He's introduced himself, Mark Rejhon, myself, Alain. And firstly, I want to thank you very much, Council, for accepting not only our delegation, but a massive slew of delegations, so courageous on your part. And also, I want to thank very much all participants, all residents and stakeholders for coming here and sharing their thoughts. I think that's the best way we can move forward towards a result that's satisfactory to both this project and Hamilton itself. So good apologies. Needs a good rapid transit system, which includes BRT and LRT to create this blast network to cover the entire city. Considering, and it's almost scary, the projections of population that are coming into our city and the demographics of those populations. We're talking about, and please don't quote me on this specific number, it was in a public meeting from a city staff who mentioned that 50% of the new population that we're seeing coming into our city are millennials. We're not surprised. I think we can see that the population is slowly changing. But those millennials are very different from our current population. I was surprised to hear that 50% of those actually have to hold 2 or 3 jobs to be able to live in Hamilton. They don't have, in general, and please, this is no offense to the particular, to purchase homes and cars. So what do? They focus on what's most important in life. We all need a roof under our head. So where does their mobility? Rapid transit system. This is what this project is about. The influx of people coming in, if we're talking about a sustainable, yes, thank you. If we're talking about a sustainable or resilient city, it has to be built around rapid transit. It should not be watered down as we're hearing in this dialogue, where we're going from LRT to BRT to bus lanes, frequent buses, and basically back to regular bus service. I would like to introduce you to a new dance step. Some of you already know it. It's called the BRT creep. There are many, many examples of this on here, but Washington Post, Street Blog, and it goes on. Google it, find out what it's about. It's about what's happening right now, and it's scaring all of us, where we're clawing back, slowly but surely, eating away at a principle that we've all agreed. We've already decided, and though some might not think it as important, but 52 votes. We received a very, I'll just go to this particular slide, which I thought was very interesting. Our mayor, who compiled the simple, we can start debating on where these numbers are. We have engaged at Hamilton LRT Residency numerous groups. We have been doing so for a year and a half. I have been walking the streets for a year and a half, speaking to stakeholders. Taking it down a notch and start thinking about this project. It is what is needed. and most go towards that direction. I think what we saw in this particular, in the mayor's slightly unofficial poll, is very significant. That's what we are experiencing. I've spoken to many businesses a year and a half ago that were against it that are now for it. I've spoken to people who automatically put their, no, we don't need that. It's going to destroy parking. But then you talk, and then you find out that there's a little bit more consensus. When I hear of all these, I see more businesses talking about buying. I just found another business on King Street, just mentioned, mine. I'm building a new. I'm extending this old building. and I want a new business here. I am hearing that over and over and over. So I'm having a lot of difficulty understanding what we're trying to do here. Today, we are here to do one thing: continue the process we have started, which is the approval of the, I'm sorry, I call it the environmental assessment, but it's specifically the environmental study report, and we need to move on. We all need to move on this. We've approved the project. We've said this project. I don't care about the elections next year. Talk to your constituents. Talk to the people. We've been to Waterloo. We've been to Ottawa. It's the same thing over. It's growth. It's what our city needs. We need to be prepared for the future, and this is the future. You are making it. Let's expedite it. We're on time right now. Let's not push this out. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the presenters? Seeing none, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Is Patrick Rose in the building?